Okay, this is JeeShen from Softinn. In this video, I'm going to talk about why residential door lock is not suitable for hotel business. Softinn is a hotel solution provider, and from time to time, we receive questions from our customers asking if their door lock works for the hotel business. So without further ado, let's start. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to compare residential door lock and hotel door lock in this video. Okay, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, now on my left is the residential door lock, and on my right is the hotel door lock. Let's talk about the residential door lock. So for traditionally residential door lock are brands like Samsung, those that you find at your house where it supports a card and it supports a number and also maybe even thumbprint. So, but the operating model is very different from a hotel door lock. Okay, why? So, assuming you use a card to open your residential unit. So, typically those cards are called Mi Fair card with different ID. Each of the card has a different ID. So, what happens is that each of the door lock that you install at your residential unit, let's say for my house, when I move in, right, I will program the door lock of my house to open whenever it sees card 1, 4, 2, 3, 5, for example, and also for the card that my wife is holding, for example, 1, 4, 2, 3, 6. Okay, so these two cards were able to open the door without any issue. Okay, now if my neighbor got a card ID 14238 and he tried to open my door will refuse to open. And as you know, if you lost a card for your house, you have to unregister that from your door lock set for security purpose. That's the logic behind, because your door simply recognizes the card ID of your card, right? So of course there are some encryptions, but the basic fundamentals goes with this card ID. Okay, now, so for hotel door lock, it operates in a different model. Okay, so for hotel door lock, it does not work as purely ID, because as you can see, ID is not the concern here. If you operate a hotel, you wanted a card issued to the guests to open the door for a period that they are staying. Okay, for example, I issued a card for this guest for his stay from 1st of Jan until 2nd of Jan, and including the time. So whenever the card goes to the door, and for example, the time now is, say, now is 2024 Jan 01 4 p.m. Okay, so what happened is that at time 4, the card, when the door lock detects the card, it checks the time now, and this card is allowed to open the door. Okay, so the time is of concern here. So if a guest that somehow checked out yesterday, say he came 23rd December, the 31st, and check out on 1st of Jan. So imagine this card goes to the door, the previous guest, they would not be able to open the door. Why? Because at 4 p.m. this card will not work, because after 11 a.m. the door lock will not recognize this card as a valid card to open the door. So for hotel business, time is a value that is super important to grant the access for the room or the house. Hence, it's very different from residential door. Okay. Now, next thing is that's the reason if you ever visit a hotel, you will notice that they will put your card right on top of a black hardware. Basically, that hardware is called an encoder. And what it does is basically program the time of the card. For example, the same card returned by the guest after checkout, Okay, I remove this card, right? Now it goes to the encoder. Now the machine check in the next guest. For example, the same guest that checked into this room, right? Say, oh, I need the second card. So what happened? The hotel will take the card that returned by the previous guest. Now let's issue the second card. So 2024 Jan. Let's copy for. Basically, you will just program the card with the same period so that the card open the door. So now this card is now legit. Why? Because if this card goes to the door at 4 p.m., it works. But if let's say this has changed to 3rd of January 4 p.m., these two cards will immediately turn invalid, right? Because if the guest try to access the same door with the card, it doesn't work because time is important. So this is a simple explanations of why a hotel door lock is needed for hotel business. You can't just use a residential door lock for hotel or Airbnb business. And if you invest into a property and you want to turn your property into an Airbnb business and you wanted to look at the door lock that has this kind of facility, and we have also our partners who sell door lock, which you can actually program the time remotely, so the door lock would be able to recognize the valid card and differentiate from those that is not valid. The last thing you want is that your previous guest get to open the door while the next guest was in it, right? So security is crucial in a hotel business. So thanks for watching this video. I hope this gives you an overview of why residential door lock doesn't work for hotel business. Thanks for watching.